right? You put that in the that has to happen category. Okay, once you get that, and Jokić, it's funny. Jokić had a down series averaging a triple-double, 24 points, 11.5 rebounds, and 10 assists and 2 steals. It felt like it was kind of a down series. Okay, I'll take down series from like that. Jamal Murray, again, I don't know why, people just love to continue to bag on Jamal Murray, but 7 games, averaged 42 minutes per game, team high in minutes, 23 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1 block per game. But so if you take their performances as for granted, okay, we assume you're going to get this, then yeah, I think you got to look at Aaron Gordon, a guy who battled health issues all season long. He was there for all 7 games. He was an Ironman. He played 39 minutes per game, averaged 19 points per game. He was terrific. Again, showing why he's the heartbeat of this team. But yeah, Russell Westbrook. And I think back about all the Russell Westbrook debates during the course of the season. And I caught a lot of heat for saying Russell Westbrook was a more impactful player than Bruce Brown was. Bruce fit his role terrifically. But if you're talking about how much the Nuggets, I don't think the plan at the beginning of the season was that they would have to rely on Russell Westbrook as much as they have this season. And I know it's been a roller coaster ride at times. But when you look back at the end of the day, this guy has been one of the best acquisitions, especially when you consider what they're paying him. In NBA terms, peanuts, has been one of the best acquisitions of the entire NBA. So you look at him, you look at Gordon, and Christian Brown. We'll always love KCP. We will always love Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. He will always be a hero in this town. But can we all agree that Christian Brown has made us forget about KCP?
Great young man.
Can we all agree on that?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, certainly. And then you look at the money that KCP was going to be making compared to what Christian. Yeah, so certainly. But yeah, no, I don't know if it's the best pickup of the NBA off season is Russell Westbrook, but it was a great pickup for the Nuggets. Certainly. I mean, he's been available. He goes out there and competes. Doesn't matter what role he is asked to do. Starter. Had to start a lot this year. Wait, I mean, that wasn't a plan. Or coming off the bench. He just embraces it. I love that final dunk. I loved it. Final dunk, hang on the rim.
Yeah, purposely get the
Yeah, like that was what I did my senior year, high school. Hang on the rim.
Hung on the rim?
I missed the dunk, though. Didn't quite flush it home.
Yeah.
Back of the iron. But I hung on the rim because, sometimes when you don't like the opposing team and you're kicking their ass, you just want to send a message.
Yeah.
Right? And so I had flashbacks to 1994 Como High versus Karen Crow Bears. The Spartans versus the Bears, right? And
I was young ones, too.
What was the name of your high school?
Como High.
Como?
Como.
Como? C-O-M-O? C-O-M-O?
Nope.
No?
Try again.
C-O-M-O-U-G-H? No. Oh, wait, hold on. No, I got it. No, I forgot where I am.
Yeah, right.
C-O-M-E-A-U-X.
Yes, you did it. You did it, Mikey. Oh, I'm so proud of you. But I did that to the Karen Crow Bears.
All right, good.
Back in 94. And so, flashbacks there. I love that. I love it. That's what he brings to the table, though.
Mark Schlereth was a grappler. He was a wrestler, a state
He wasn't hanging on rims.
He was a state champion, but anybody who's seen his stupid, ridiculous high school picture knows that no doubt when he was playing pickup basketball out there on the playground courts at 1:30 in the morning during those endless Alaskan summer nights, he was probably hanging from the rim and dunking. Were you not, Mark Schlereth?
Yeah, I did not miss the dunks. I flushed the dunks.
You flushed.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I could flush the dunk and hang on the rim. I could just. It wasn't either or for me.
Who would win? Who do you think would win a dunk contest between Stoke and Stink in their primes?
Me.
Really?
Yeah.
Stoke?
I mean, there ain't no question.
Stoke took a big bite of his bagel here. You need a second here to chew. Okay. Oh man. All right. All right.
True story.
Okay. You got it. All right. We're in the middle of a show.
Well, I thought Mark,
Sign on the door.
I thought Mark, who hasn't been on the show, I thought he would give more of a talk than just that. But I did finish. It's a true story. College, we did a charity game for a couple years. My school versus LSU. Once again, in Karen Crow. Kevin Falk. We all remember Kevin Falk.
What's Karen Crew?
Karen Crow is a city.
Oh.
And also a high school.
Okay.
So that's where Kevin Falk is from.
Okay.
Okay. And he didn't want that smoke on the basketball court. Okay. Football field, they did pretty good. Basketball court, he didn't want it. And so we had a charity deal. So he would get some LSU players come down. We would get some UL players, and we would play a charity game, basketball game. But we had a slam dunk contest. Second place.
Really?
Second place.
To who? Anybody?
I don't remember.
No. Wasn't.
I didn't win.
So you were actually in a dunk contest and finished second?
Yeah.
Mark, have you ever been in a dunk contest?
Yeah.
Really?
Against who?
Who?
Where?
I mean, I don't know. You didn't give me who you played against.
I did. I just we were
You
playing
said
against
you-
LSU. I don't remember all the contestants.
It was like a
You
sanctioned
said
event.
you finished second in the dunk contest.
Yeah, it was a legitimate contest. Did you?
Right.
Were you
Yeah.
signed up in a legitimate dunk contest?
Yeah, I finished first. I don't know who was in the contest.
I'm calling BS.
Mark Schlereth.
I'm putting that up there.
Yeah.
I'm putting it up there.
Mark, you can put it on my board.
Right, we're
but
gonna
maybe
put it
like
on
a
your board.
special
Yes.
edition.
Drake, what are you guys
Sorry, Mark.
What are you guys talking about?
You ever seen the
You guys
picture?
act like I could. You guys, I could dunk the time I
What
was
do
a
you mean?
freshman in high school.
Yeah, you ever seen the high school picture?
I've
It's
seen
ridiculous.
the picture.
It's
I bet you
stupid.
can, but I mean,
Stupid.
who was there a
So
competition?
unfair.
Was it just you and a
No,
buddy?
it was just down at the local gym with a bunch
Oh,
of dudes
see.
running the gym.
Those
Not-
weren't athletes,
so there
bro.
were there judges?
They weren't
holding
athletes.
up cards and stuff like that.
You know, how many athletes
no,
come out of Alaska?
So I guess I was not an official. It wasn't
okay.
an official.
Thank you. Now, see,
dunk.
now he's backtracking.
Did you have judges with cards?
Yes,
holding
of
cards
course
up?
we did.
Oh, okay, yeah, not like an official. No, I've
And
never
the
been
biggest
an
one of the
official.
one of the biggest haters in my life, my wife. She will even vouch for that story. She will even vouch. Like she never gives me credit for anything, but for she was in the stands for that one.
Wow.
Okay, so there you go.
I'm just digesting that line. One of the biggest haters in my life, my wife. Ex-wife? No, my current wife.
No, we're still together.
No.
We're doing
Yeah.
great.
We're doing great. But
Yeah, okay.
she
I
is
mean,
my
she didn't
big-
like me.
But she is
She
my
didn't
biggest
like me,
hate-
but-
Right. We're doing awesome, but she does hate me. Well, good morning, Mark Schlereth. Welcome. We have been
Good morning.
digesting the day that was on Saturday and what could have been the Nuggets taking all the suspense out of the proceedings and letting us all focus on the Avalanche. And up 2-0, it looked like it was going to happen. And then it just, I mean, to call this, there's no other way to put it. And I know that whenever fans or blowhard media types like myself say this, I know it makes ex-athletes or athletes kind of cringe a little bit, but I mean, there's no other way to put it, right, Mark? The Avalanche just flat out choked. I mean, that's just an epic choke job, is it not?
Epic failure. Up 2, right? You gave up. What did you give up? The hat trick to Mikko in the third? Like, I mean, it just is Mike, come on. What are we doing? What are we doing? How many first-round exits is that now? Have they gotten bounced in the first round in every series since they won the Stanley Cup?
No.
Or they went to second round?
Second round. They
Yeah.
have not yet, of the 8 years that Jared Bednar's been the coach, the run of Bednar, McKinnon, McCarr, Landy, 8 years in the playoffs, they have made it past the second round once in those 7 years. It was a good one, but
Yeah.
does the one Stanley Cup outweigh those 7 years in which you couldn't make it past the second round with a team that many people felt was among the top teams in the West, the top teams in the NHL? We all love Jared Bednar, but does Bedsy have to pay for this, Mark?
Well, I mean, that's where you would look. I mean, first and foremost, and I know people don't want to hear that, but a bottom line is you've got one of, if not the best player in hockey in McKinnon. You've got the best defensive player in hockey, the defenseman in Kel McCarr. Like, you've got the makings of a deep Stanley Cup run, and I have to, defer to you. I listen to you, Mike. You are my hockey guy. I mean, you have an award-winning podcast, and you told me quite bluntly that the Avalanche are a better team than Dallas.
Yeah.
You said it many times, and so I'm just saying. So why are the Avalanche underachieving come playoff time?
Well, that's a great point. And you're right. I'll own it. And believe me, I've heard from the people today. I thought you said that the Avalanche were the better team. You dismissed Dallas. End of the day, 7-game series, Dallas was the better team. And I was wrong about the idea that the Avs were a better team. Why weren't they the better team? Why didn't they live up to their billing? There's so many things to look at. Their performance on the power play was dreadful at some key moments. I went back and looked at it. Game 2, under 2 minutes, you had a power play. In regulation, you lost in overtime. Game 3, you had a 4-minute power play in overtime. You lost. Game 7, you had a power play with a 2-1 lead in the third period. You couldn't convert, and you end up losing the game. So that was a big reason. That's self-inflicted. I look up at the end of the day, and coming out of the trade deadline stinks, Stoke. I thought that the Avs had, on paper, made the kind of moves that set them up to make a deep run. But as I always stressed, it's on paper. It looks good, but now you got to go out and prove it in the playoffs. And when you look up at the end of the day, 7 games, Marty Necas has 1 goal. Cale Makar has 1 empty net goal. Brock Nelson, no goals. Jonathan Drouin, no goals. On and on down the line, you just had so many guys. Charlie Coyle had 1 garbage time goal in game 1. So Kiviranta had no goals in the entire series. Ultimately, it comes down to the roster looked like it was good enough to go out and win this series, and I think win a Stanley Cup, but the players didn't deliver. And ultimately it falls on them. But, guys, I'm also smart enough to realize that in situations like this, it's hard to replace the entire team. It's much easier to replace the coach or the general manager, both of them. The question is, does somebody have to pay for this, Stoke? Does somebody have in a season that was going to be defined as Stanley Cup or bust? Okay, unfortunately, we're dealing with the or bust part of it. What does or bust mean? Who pays for it?
No one.
No one.
No one for me. I want to run it back one more time, man. Give me one more time with Bednar. And I'm fine with McFarland because I like some of the moves that he made and who he is able to acquire. It didn't work out. Just didn't work out. But I don't think, from the outside looking in, I don't think Bednar has lost a locker room or anything like that. I want to see one all season with the majority of these guys, with a new goalie, and feel better about our goalie situation moving forward, and see what it looks like. And so my next question would be also is, so if they do make a move here, when do we hear about it? When would we hear about it? Probably not today, because do you think the Nuggets playing today? You don't want to drop the news today because your Nuggets are playing. Would you hear about it tomorrow?
Great point. Great point.
So we'll see. And do they clean house? Is it a Nuggets type of situation, Mark, where they just say, you know what? Hey, both of y'all are gone. We're just going to move forward and start new with a new general manager and a new head coach.
Yeah, I don't know what the answer is there, Mike, but I just look at since the Avs have won the Stanley Cup, and we thought, could they win back-to-back, and we thought, how many could they win? It's like one of those situations where you're like, this team is so well put together, and they've got everything, which seems to be lockdown, and then it's just you don't produce in the next couple of playoff series. That, like, at some point you feel like the way professional sports works, somebody's got to pay. Like, they've got to do something to shake things up. So I'll be very interested to see in the next couple of days if they make any changes to their front office / to their head coach.
Well, it will be interesting. I don't look at it that way. I don't look at it where someone has to lose a job.
Really?
No, I don't, because I've been part of situations to where there's been some failures. And you know what? We stayed the course, and it ended up working out. And I look at the Colts, and I keep going back because that was the one where, you look at a great team, great regular seasons, and it was failure. failure. 3 years in a row. How much more can you take? But they stayed the course, and then you're rewarded with it. So,
but does winning a championship like the Avs did a few years ago and then not being able to get back to that level, not only not being able to get back to that level, but to go, first round, second round, first round in the 3 years, that's different than your Colts situation. You were going through the failures on the way to eventually paying it off with a championship. We're talking about having climbed the mountain, and now what's happened these last 3 years, does that necessitate changes?
I wouldn't, not in this situation. We know he can do it. We know this team, the majority of this team can do it. So it's not like, the moment's too big for him. So they have a championship pedigree. Now, look, if you think it's run its course, and then you make a move. But from the outside looking in, it doesn't seem like the locker room has tuned Bednar out. I don't know about the situation with the general manager, McFarland, but I like this group, and I want to see it through one more year. I think Bednar's a really good coach. He's won a championship here, and so I want to run it back for one more year.
We have a summer that is coming up here before you know it, which means road trips. Let your first tank of gas be on us. Enter for your chance to win a daily $50 gas card and a possible grand prize of $1,000. All you have to do is listen for the keyword every hour and text it to 303-713-1043 before that hour ends. The more keywords you enter, the more chances you have to win. For complete rules, visit denversports.com/keyword. Coming up next, Mark has always said that he's a really good loser, but a worse winner. Was that on display this